back here, and it's time for SK versus Liquid on Inferno. My name's Stunna. I'm your host, and if you're just joining us, you're tuning in at just an opportune prime time here at the ESL Pro League Season 5. This is my counterpart, Vendetta.
There we go.
What's up, big guy?
I'm doing good, man. Enjoying the game so far today.
Last one of the week, last one of the night.
Yeah, going out with a big bang.
It is a big bang. We do have SK and Liquid on Inferno, the second time we've seen Inferno tonight. And already in the first Inferno match, can we expect it to be anything like that?
No, I don't think that's going to be the case, because that was fairly one-sided on, in favor of Immortals. CLG didn't quite have the best start to their day. I think it's going to be a bit of a different story here, though. That said, SK have shown, that they have a very strong Inferno in general. Obviously not a lot of games played for either side on this map, but we saw the SK play this map yesterday, and they did pretty well for themselves versus Cloud9. Obviously, their CT side still has a couple of things to work with, a couple of kinks here and there, especially that A defense towards Porch and Quad there. That kind of synergy between Taco and Phelps didn't really seem to be fully there yet for SK. So that's definitely something that Liquid can consider taking advantage of if they haven't straightened that out. But their T side looked very, very strong. Is
this a map we can anticipate for just having that freedom of movement throughout the entire landscape?
From what we saw yesterday, kind of Phelps and Fur was allowed to spread their wings and just run wherever, and it seemed to work nicely versus Cloud9. So yeah, I wouldn't expect them to have gotten any sort of restrictions going into this one either.
Well, we've got Dr. Stromboli standing by with just a little bit of Liquid's Inferno. Take it away, Eric.
Hey guys, welcome back to another Stromberg Strategies. We're going to take a look at Team Liquid on Inferno against Team CLG. And one thing I want to take away from this is that Team Liquid, they're down. They're playing in a reactive team like Team CLG. What are they going to do to take advantage back, to win the round, to chip away at the old block, as I say? Because right now, as you look at the video, CLG's up 7-4. Team Liquid, they're just bought. They have very low utility compared to CLG. CLG has Molotovs, flash smokes. They're ready for any execute. Very common smoke. So what Team Liquid does, they know CLG is in a reactive team, all right? You watch CLG. They probably played against them. They know that whatever they throw, CLG is going to counteract. They have structure. They have certain moves they do pre-planned. And so instead of playing like the map Inferno, they're playing CLG. They're playing the team. And so right now, Team Liquid, all they're going to do is toss 2 smokes. And what this is going to happen is CLG is going to react to this. They're going to see the smokes. They're going to throw Molotovs. They're going to throw flashes. As you can see, CLG already wasted 2 Molotovs. They're going to waste a couple flashes. So for 2 smokes of Team Liquid, they busted away $2,000 almost worth of utility from just CLG alone. So that right there is a plus and a win. And you got to take the little battles in life, especially in this game. As you can see, Stanislav will smoke off the archway. They know that CLG already played passive because, again, they heard him fall back. They heard him throw nades. So most likely, let's go for a simple A split. And this is where the teamwork, the experience comes down, where the exchanging kills, nice by Pimp and Nitro to clear the bomb site. It forces CLG to fall back and save their guns. So Team Liquid, they took a spot where they did not have the advantage, and they kind of turn it into their advantage by playing the team. They say in poker, you play the player, not the cards, because you're not always going to have the winning hand. And right now, Team Liquid did not have the winning hand. They were down in money and utility, but they made it work. Smart call, smart play by Stanislav and the gang, and good job on them. Back to you, Stunna. And just let one thing out. I'm a big fan of Inferno. Bring back the bells, you fools.
Stromberg's out the building. Actually, there he goes. All
Bailed
right.
out.
That's a
left a picture though.
See you, man. That's a good one. That's a good one for the collection.
Yeah.
I'll put it on eBay.
Nice.
For those 1.6 guys that lived back in those days. Now, we're going into Inferno, obviously a much different map in 1.6 than it is today.
Very much so.
And I can ask you about tendencies between these two maps, but is there a chance that we get a surprise here from Liquid?
I'm kind of fearful for Liquid, especially because in the video that Stromberg showed, versus CLG, which was the last time we saw them play Inferno, they didn't really have the strongest of T sides, even though they end up getting 5 rounds there already in the video. It's kind of shaky, similar to what we saw in Mirage. They end up on 5, but it's not necessarily in an impressive manner they do it. So kind of fearful for Liquid going into this.
How important is it for JDM to step up in this map?
I think it's a must. It's a necessity, really, because you could tell that there's still, around SK, right? They're still hanging around for the better part of Mirage, even though JDM is a literal non-factor for the better part of it. And you can't be an Opera going through an entire game with 0 sniper kills. That's just not how it works. You can't compete at a high level. And this is one of the things that obviously has been a bit of a gripe towards JDM about as well, the fact that he can't be too efficient or have too much of an impact once he doesn't have the op in his hands all the time. But yeah, no, I think it's a must really for Liquid to have him on. So
I'm going to bring the commentators in with us now. We got Blue and Dazed. The implementation of an Opera on this map, Sam, where is it most vital?
Well, recent on this map, it used to be at A in older iterations, but now you're seeing most main Operas play B. I mean, the larger entry point, the ability to play aggressive and make them utilize utility and also have to respect an aggressive play. You could spam the short wall, which can result in a lot of damage and kills. And then back at like Emo around that pillar is really strong, triple as well. So people are now putting the Opera at B, which is a lot different than, what we used to see on Inferno, where it was almost exclusively either if you're going to op B, you're usually pushed up at the car because you took B control, or you're usually opping Porch or Arch or wherever. Or Moto, of course.
All right, well, thanks very much, guys. I believe we're going to take it from here and get ready to jump into the map now, as the teams are getting ready to ready up and play out this one. Now, you said earlier that they were actually going to trade. Do you think with it being on Inferno that's still going to be the case, or is this now going to be like a 2-0 for SK?
Well, I mean, we'll see. I have no idea who's going to win Blue. I mean, if JDM, really just plays any similar fashion to what he did, I don't know how you win when you're playing against, a top 5 team in the world, just absolute world-class team in SK, and you have your main Opera, who's usually statistically one of your best players, just not even getting one off frag, so. Yeah. If that continues, of course, SK is going to win. I don't think you can win in under those circumstances.
Yeah, like I said, I don't even think he got. I think 3 out of. Again, I could be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure like 3 out of 4 of those kills were on the pistol rounds. I think he only got like 1 kill outside of a pistol round, and it was just like randomly happened. It was not with an op, so he got 0 op kills throughout that entire map. Definitely probably going to be hurting the confidence factor at the very least going into the second map. But we should hope that he was able to kind of step back and take a deep breath and recenter himself for this one. The good news is someone who I mentioned that was doing poorly yesterday stepped up big time in that last map. And that was Twist, who I think actually led the fragging power for Team Liquid in most of that last map. So,
but they lost, Blue.
Listen.
No, he did play pretty well. He had his moments for sure.
Team Liquid going to be posting up with just a 3-2 split, as we would generally expect here under the pistol round, and SK being a little bit sneaky, sending 4 of their players up through A. Elise did catch Phelps out, so they're probably going to realize that this is a fake and start the rotate over here. JDM now trying to pan out into it as well. He did see the split inside of the Arch's position, but he's going to be overwhelmed in a moment here if he's not careful, and down goes JDM, immediately knocked out by Coldzera. Headshot from the Glock, and now the split's in full effect. The bomb's still working its way up Banana. It'll come in a little bit later once these guys have actually gotten control over the site, but actually, no, I correct myself. Vaughn's just going to go in, and well, Nitro holding over here. It takes him a moment, but he does get that kill. Traded out afterwards, however, by Coldzera, and now putting us into a 3v3. Elise still trying to battle from the new box. Rotations have arrived from Banana, and they're going to go into immediate effect here as Twist catches not 1 but 2 kills from within side of the site, and it just falls to Taco out of clutch. He gets 1, goes for the second, almost gets it. Elise very low, down to 3 HP. Keep in mind, there's still 35 seconds left to play with. Plenty of time for Taco to be able to pull this back off. He knows where Elise is at, and I think he knows where Stanislav's playing it too, so just creeps up here. Oh, he had the angle, but he was aiming just a little bit too far to the right. So Stanislav will close out, and it'll be Team Liquid winning the pistol.
Yeah, great adaptation by Liquid. I'm surprised they didn't swing it back towards A. I thought they would just show presence like they were going B and end up going back A. And Liquid just kind of Nitro smokes off the main entrance. He kills Fallen. Elise a triple, and he stays alive for, he's battling for 40 seconds. Then they double flank B, they get the bomb down, they have eyes on the bomb from B, pretty easy stuff from Liquid.
Yeah, a lot of nades coming back in here pretty early on now too.
They reacted very well to how SK did that. The double flank on B was really crucial.
And it's going to be quick play, more than likely, from SK leading into this B-bomb site. They have everybody stacked up, trying to push into banana. There's a huge crossfire setup, though. Elige going in for one. The Flower Pot guy grabbing at least one on his own regard.
They mollied that.
Did they really?
Yes.
How did the molly spread? Because there was a smoke there, too.
It wasn't that molly that we saw right there.
Okay.
They mollied that. They threw a molly on top of that.
I thought it was one of those spots where it like actually wouldn't explode properly.
Yeah, because it's always like buggy when there's smoke below something, you know?
Well, anyway, it still ends up working out for Team Liquid there, as they do end up moving themselves in, retaking the site, and they lose Elige along the way, so Liquid ends up going up 2-0, but
hope we can get a replay of that. I know Heather would have a replay ready for us, but Cody over there, the intern, I don't know, man.
Let's see.
I'm pretty sure they mollied it.
Do they have anything for us? Oh, what's this?
Okay, let's see. All right, look to your left.
So where's the molly at? Well, it was from the perspective of this player, I think.
Yeah, of Phelps. Or, sorry.
Yeah, it is mollied. Yeah, it's a separate molly up there.
I mean, it was too late, the molly.
Yeah.
It needed to happen earlier, but that's really cool.
Interesting. I'm sure they'll get used a lot more.
They always does some crazy stuff.
Yeah. So now pushing themselves in, obviously just on the upgraded pistol round. Really not a whole lot being brought to the table. Phelps just jumps into his own death there. So 5v3 right from the start of the round before we even see 15 seconds pass by. And more than likely going to be looking at another easy close out here from Team Liquid to go up 3-0. Do you see those last three grouping together, I believe, to swing themselves? At least Fallen will try to throw a bit of a fake over here just to make some noise, but the main group of two are going to be trying to move in through the mid-choke point. Problem is Stanislaw and JDM waiting on the other edge of this one. They're not even checking to the porch. There is a nice trade from Coldzera, and the player over here outside of the cubby has already given himself away, but he's still able to pick up the last kill and give Team Liquid their third round.
So we see the buy come out from SK. I think usually Phelps goes towards B on this map because we always see him try to sneak into spawn through that smoke.
And so into the first gun round. Still 3 UMPs, of course, for Team Liquid, so just keep that in mind.
Economical.
Yeah. Trying to save a little bit of cash, of course, in the event SK do just come out swinging on these gun rounds. And the up is included also for these Ts. SK's Fallen going back to pick it up here now as they split their players 3-2 initially.
Look at Fallen. Or, sorry, Taka.
Yeah, he's already crept up over here. Stanislaw's going to get the
kill he should get. He recognized that they triple naded, so he just immediately ran up halls to get in a position like that because they triple naded and he knew nobody would be halls to contest from Boiler or anything.
Fur is going to creep himself up over here towards the balcony, and Phelps as well, positioning himself up on top of these sandbags. Waiting it out to see if he could spot anyone else, but with the re-smoke coming out from those CTs, there's really not a whole lot that Phelps is going to be able to get done without actually taking a risk here. Now Fur, ready to try and re-smoke outside of this balcony here to give his team a little bit of room, and himself, I imagine, to actually negotiate out.
Moto. That was cool.
He had that lined up from that doorway that was open in the hall,
so really clever way to do it.
That's like a really intense way to line up a smoke.
Smart.
Yeah, it works out great. Phelps will catch a kill. It's elsewhere, though. It's not happening over here at this A play. It's over towards B where he knocks it Elige. The players themselves are actually still trying to wrap around here. JDM's attention was drawn to where this Moto smoke was tossed just moments ago. It has now expired, so takes a quick glance over there. But unfortunately, in the time that this happened, he ends up swinging into a two-player stack from SK. That is now suddenly positioned outside here. Twist will be available to trade with Coldzera, picking up another kill. Stan actually had a great lineup of players, but he's still too conscious of Coldzera just pushing him from the other end. And now he just gets surrounded. That's the site under control of SK, and unfortunately for Nitro, he's got a 1v3, which he may go for the attempt on, but he's going to be a little bit late to the party, and there's really not a whole lot that he can reliably try and do here in this situation.
Yeah, I mean, they go and they play a B retake, essentially. Nitro was just there by himself, and JDM, again, the timing is just off. As soon as he took his eyes off that angle, he re-peeks into Fallen's posted op. He re-peeks without a flashbang or anything like that, and the other two guys at A just really low HP. Can't expect them to do too much.
Nitro is going to get pushed in to be able to find Fur at the very least. Yeah, catches him on an exit and retrieves the op. He's got to not get killed by Fallen in a moment here, though, because Fallen's going to be waiting outside. And actually, again, really smart about this. Does not go in that direction. Takes a lot of damage from the bomb explosion.
That's smart.
Yeah, he ends up getting away with the op and not taking that duel versus Fallen.
That was perfect by Nitro, though. He gets an extra kill. He saves the op, which they still have none of in the series. No kills on. But regardless, it hurts SK's economy a lot. Look at that. At the end of the round, they only have 1,800 and 1,400. Everybody else is broke.
And early on in this round, a lot of Molotovs and smokes being tossed out by the Team Liquid side. JDM waltzing into 1-2, takes a good 40 damage early on and trying to find a kill, and almost being able to find Phelps with a shot through the half wall here. Nitro's going to push up. Phelps trying to take the duel, and that one catches the kill. Attempts to transfer into a second, but finally we have an op kill from JDM. Fallen almost had a guaranteed trade right there, but he whiffs the shot in his own regard. Now he's got to try to peek out and find it again, but instead just ends up falling back. JDM will not be able to punish him in this situation just yet. As Fallen will be allowed to kind of regroup here with the rest of his teammates in mid and try to make that A push happen. But now Team Liquid also have a really quick banana flank primed up in the event that this becomes obvious that it's going to be an A hit.
Yeah, they knew it was a triple B setup, so they immediately go towards a mid control, and now they are sensing that Arch is a little bit weak, and the Liquid rotates very, very slow to send somebody back to A. It's just a double pit setup. So they have to worry about CT spawn as well in a few seconds.
Well, now we do have Fallen trying to creep back in. He's looking for the hay barrel player first off for that broken wall position that may be peeking back out, and he spots it, but yeah, Twist immediately deletes him before he can actually make the connection himself. Now 4v3. Time also getting a little bit low here too. And with smokes just being redeployed out by the CTs here, that's not really going to leave SK a whole lot of time to actually make a hit happen. They've already gone for that pinch from Banana too. Look at how far up Elige is before SK have even started the actual push into the A bomb site. They're still just now wrapping around porch site, so Elige is going to be a problem, almost guaranteed 100%. They won't be watching for that flank. Coldzera catching a first kill. In comes the flank. 2 out of 3, dead on the ground. An op should be recovered by Elige if they want it as well. And now just Coldzera, who doesn't get anything done. Elige even shutting out that kill as well. So Liquid up 4-1. And in a moment here, I think we'll have the replay of JDM for the first time in like a map and a quarter here, getting his op kill.
Pretty over dramatic, guys.
Just wanted to highlight that for
Yeah.
the JDM fans out there.
So SK forces here. They know if they win this round, Liquid could possibly be forced to an eco. Just a great time flank from Elige, wins that round though. And you saw he hit it middle too. That was really smart by him.
Stan's almost caught early on as they go for an aggressive push, and he's almost caught again. Ooh, the timing on this one.
Yeah, Stan's down to 8 HP though.
Some damage was traded back onto, yeah, because we can see Phelps early on here dropped to 59. Fallen losing about half of his health. Fur at 7. JDM is going to take the duel early on around here. Should we see Fallen follow through with the push, but Smoke is going to hold him back for a few extra moments. SK still very much going to probably commit themselves into an A hit, however, just waiting for these smokes to fade away and them to actually have an ample opportunity to push in and take a little bit of control at the moment. Liquid looking strong. It's not really going to be too well regarded here for SK to actually sneak through, although Phelps just made a big move, and this may call for a slight delay in the SK camp with him getting in here for free, because now he can just camp out, allow his teammates to rotate in through Banana, get into a position to execute, and then while the 2 players on site are occupied with the push from Banana, he can swing out and more than likely just surprise with 2 big kills.
I wonder if they know he's there or not, because he
Yeah,
jumped.
that's the other question. And no one's looking towards it right now, so he's going to waltz right out. Nobody's paying attention, but oh, Elige! He looks at the last moment, so he's going to catch it. It was a good flashbang from the T's, though, so it is going to send them both back into coverage here. Ferta calling out the positions. Coldzera gets the kill. Nitro trading on the 2 of them, though, and now this is falling apart very quickly for SK. Finally, Nitro out of ammo. He goes down to Coldzera, but it's still left to a 2v3 with Team Liquid having the advantage here. Just going to take them a moment to get into positions for a retake, so SK definitely getting the plant. Stan going to be creeping up against Fallen here, but Stan's very low. He can't really take this duel in the open. He's got to be careful. And yep, there we go. As soon as Fallen catches him in the open, down he will go. 2v2 restored, even battlefield now, but JDM waiting for Fallen, catches him. Coldzera sneaks out, connects onto the headshot, and it's him versus Twist now with Coldzera also armed with the up, tries to swing in, but Twist is ready for it. He closes out and gives Team Liquid their 5th.
Twist again with that clutch. I think Cold thought that he was off the bomb, but then he was actually going to run back towards it when he peeked there. But Elige just kind of saving that round on that kill by Phelps. If Phelps went a little bit later, maybe, you know, let the B guys get in the entrance first, I don't think that happens at all. Timing just a tiny bit off.
Well, Phelps trying to push himself towards logs early on now. As Team Liquid once again resisting Nitro and JDM positioning themselves here, but it's Nitro taking point in a big way. Swings out maybe a little bit too far, as it does leave it open for Phelps to be able to trade, and I think he's going to follow through even more so. Picks up the M4, looking for JDM here. It's a trap, though, because there's also a new player positioned here from CT. Lige will catch Coldzera as he tries to move in to support Phelps. They lose it out there, and now they smoke over on top of the Molotov to just prevent Phelps from kind of getting the courage to go past it. And oh, nice spot from Lige. Catches Phelps.
Heard the reload.
So now this puts us down to a 4v2, and more than likely SK going to be on the losing end of it here. We still haven't seen the rotates from A just yet, but with JDM getting that kill, reaffirming the position of the last one, and...
This guy's on fire. He's a monster. Can't be stopped.
He's increased his op kills by an infinite margin based on the last map. So
again with the math, Blue.
Yeah, just bringing it all today. You just can't even measure how many more op kills he's gotten on this map.
You just add 3 from 0.
Yeah, but if you're doing multiplication, you can't measure it. 0 times anything is still 0.
Blue's law. Bogdan's law. Blue's law.
I don't think that's my law, but...
No, it's definitely not.
No, I don't think that's anyone's law.
Just take credit for it.
That's just the law of 0.
For already in Boiler, he could... If he looks to his right, he's going to meet Twist. I think they somehow just like have an inkling that this is happening, though.
Everyone frozen up both in the halls, and Stan has support behind him too. Twist is sitting right next to him somewhere.
Yeah, he's watching Boiler, right to his right.
So they're definitely suspecting halls pressure is going to work its way in. But SK,
how do they know?
I don't know, dude.
I swear they know. Like,
they're going to check this too. They're looking for it right now as they go around the corner. They swing into it. Stan gets the first kill. Phelps trades out the first one, and Fur also kills Twist from the window room. So something had to have given them away in that setup. Good molly from JDM, though. It's going to force them out. He gets past it, kills one with the molly. He's not even getting any kills with the gun, just the Molotov finishing him off. He's doing all the damage with his pistol right now. As Fallen did finally escape successfully, but Nitro is going to move in here to finish things off and pick up those last 2 kills.
Yeah, great reaction from JDM. Allows them to save that round. After you get those halls kill, I mean, there's still like a 5-6 second gap where the other CT player at A could really, you know, react, and he reacted properly with that Molotov. But how did they know they were in halls? That's the thing. They 100% like either knew or just had a strong inclination that they were in halls based off the way they took it. Fur was just waiting. Maybe they heard him run there. I'm not sure.
It had to be a sound cue, if anything.
Yeah.
If they didn't just directly read into that play somehow. And early on here, we see a little bit more aggression rolling out from the Team Liquid side. It's already taken about half the HP, a little over it and under it on Coldzera and Fur, right around 65 and 41 for those 2 players, as they've been hit early on, and they spot the just pure number of players that have also pushed their way up through mid too. Regardless, though, they're going to try to push into it, but it's a slaughter at the moment in favor of Team Liquid. 3-1 trade out there. Now 4-1 and finally 5-1 as Stan ends up with a nice 3K, and Team Liquid gets themselves an 8th round to pick up.
And nothing really going SK's way here. I mean, even that round where they had the Tech 9s, you thought that was going to go their way when Phelps was in construction, and Liquid players just... the Molotovs especially. I know they didn't get a Molotov kill there, but Stan's Molotov like wrecked that round.
Overall, utility timing has been really good for Liquid across this whole map. Like, go back 2 rounds, the JDM Molotov that kind of killed them here. We had the Molotov in that last round that did some decent damage, although, as we're saying, you know how good they've been with positioning and their Molotov usage. Now the problem is they go out very aggressively, and it costs them big time, as they've already lost 2. They're on the cusp of losing a 3rd. Thankfully, this battle goes a little bit better for them, but Twist still ends up having to back up without his kill on Fur.
And they take a risk, and they know that they have the half-wall smoke up, so they're assuming like they're just going to go A quick, and they just both rotate out of B. Such a smart play by SK to recognize that's happening somehow. These guys are in the stream. What's our delay?
It's like a good 2 to 3 minutes, I think.
They picked up Marky. What's going on? Everyone's gonna...
They just... Everybody in the chat just spamming it now.
I know, that was... I don't know. The last 2 reads by them, I know they lost the round that they were in halls, but then that read was really... That was like an insanely good read.
They just got a player with that bug where like he spawns with a camera like 10 feet above where his actual model is, and he just had that for the past 3 rounds, so he keeps seeing over walls and stuff. just not getting any kills. He's just chilling out. Maybe it's Taco.
Maybe.
He's 1-9 right now. He's just the glitch player.
Eagle eye.
Yeah, eye in the sky.
Yeah.
This round is going to go by the way of SK, though. They got pretty cleanly onto the B-bomb site. Liquid just decides to save with their A players, knowing that, 1, they're not really going to be able to rotate over there in time to retake it, and 2, there's way too many hazards on the way on the rotate, so it's just not plausible for them. So good decision, but it does give SK another round finally. This next round, obviously both teams being full bought into it. But once again, fast pressure on Banana, really from both teams. Elysian didn't even really have his gun out there at the start, but still gets the kill before he's traded up by Fallen. And then Nitro's HE grenade just finishes the job, gets that second kill going in their favor. Once more, it's Team Liquid with full control. They've even pushed past Banana to make sure that they have crossroads control, along with being able to hold on to the bomb. The remaining stragglers here on SK, either stuck outside of T-spawn in Altman or in the halls, really with nothing to work off of as of yet, and that will remain the case for probably quite some time, as the bomb is still under the control of Team Liquid.
Yeah, and JDM recognizes that he's in a spot that's a little bit dangerous. Somebody could have been out halls, flanking Moto, so he's just like, you know what, I'm just going to go to B with you guys. He could watch the flank from triple, and then they could just have 3 guys watching this bomb.
You know, Stan is going to push himself back as well. As everybody just holding pretty much behind the half wall in its entirety. And SK, I
mean, they might be able to get the bomb.
They could probably smoke it off and then go for it.
Well, they're going to have to wait out this utility, I would think.
You see the smoke, so they molly past it, and now they just spray into it. We'll have to wait out that, but the smoke should still be there for like another 5 to 10 seconds after that's far away. And it just turns into a really awkward battle for a smoke.
A, though? There's nobody at A.
Yeah, that's what they're going to do. Liquid read into this, though. They know the bomb's out of their control, so Stan and the others are trying to rotate in, but they have to wait a moment here. Stan is taking the charge, and the rest of his teammates are still a good 2 to 3 seconds behind him. Now they get onto the site, just being careful in case one straggler was left behind. Stan gets a very important kill to be able to retake this, but in a situation where it didn't even look like SK were going to be able to get that bomb back because it was stuck at the bottom of Banana, now they've planted it. Unfortunately, it's not looking likely that they'll actually clutch this back out, but that movement from Coldzera, hopping his way all the way up on top of the graveyard, catching one of the 3 remaining kills, going for the second. He can't hit this one. He does know that Twist is hopping around close to him, but JDM gets the kill. It's a team ace for Liquid as they'll claim a 9th now and reset the losing bonus from SK.
That was very scary for Liquid. I mean, it's a 3v3. Ver overextends on Arch and gets punished for it. Liquid ready for it. Even there in that 2v3, that's a very winnable round for SK.
Well, Liquid back onto the winning train here now, and for SK, the good news is that they stacked up enough of a cash supply so they can buy in one more time. But after this one, they're going to be back down in the dumps and back down more than likely onto just a half buy or full eco. As we go into this round, though, fast flashes one on over through the mid choke point does allow them early mid control. Smokes also on the half wall and good HE grenades again. You can see where they connected, and it was basically on opposite sides of Phelps. I'm amazed he's even alive, so survives it just barely with 9 HP total after they both connect onto him. And now will very promptly fall back to the bottom of Banana to regroup with his teammates. First kill of the round does go to Taco, though, and pushing out the long haul out towards the balcony and finding Stanislaw. But the rest of the team, oh, that's not what they wanted to happen. That almost killed Phelps, too. How crappy would that have been? So, thankfully, he got that called quickly enough and was able to back out of there. That would have been really bad. It's now Coldzera, kind of a lead point here. For in the meantime, just continuing to rack up kills along with Taco over on the A bomb site. The B hit's not going very well. A is definitely the winning option, it seems, here, with everything that's going wrong with Banana. So they'll continue to push into that one. Molotov actually does decent damage, knocking off like 10 to 15 HP off of Taco when he was already sitting around 40 to 30. So he's going to be relatively low here now. And although they've made those entries happen, the problem is that the bomb itself and the initial hit was going to be working its way into B, so they wasted so much time on this that now there's going to be given time to the players in Liquid to rotate over. Still brought down a Twist, though, in a 1v3, and SK is able to win it out off of that.
Yeah, SK finally being able to pinch onto that site. Phelps watching the flank at 4 HP gets a pretty critical kill onto, I think that was a Liege, right? And all of a sudden, Liquid doesn't even have a lot of money. So if Liquid loses this round, we could see SK getting to 5 or 6 pretty easily here.
And early on, well, okay. Fur just slides in to the mini pit there in mid and just takes out JDM without a problem in the world. And they'll be cautious of Hall's pressure, which is actually going to be a thing once more. The CTs have pushed up into it. They did this 2-stack before, so maybe it is something that SK were able to read into against Liquid here. As this is not, the first time they've attempted to do this. They have that boost up as well, which Phelps looked for. Just had trouble finding the model there. Thankfully, Taco trades, and Twist doesn't react to the death of his teammate at all. Still looking towards the boiler position at that point when Taco pushes back in, and he's able to pick up the second kill. That's an open A bomb site. Easy plant for them. And in a 4v2, as you mentioned, Liquid's money's kind of in the dumps right now, so more than likely they're going to post up on B and save.
Yeah, and that aggression by Liquid, I don't know if they've won one round that they've been like aggressive. Well, no, actually they won the last Halls round, but they shouldn't have, right? They got the 2 entries on SK, and then JDM just kind of saved the round. But the aggression really not going in Liquid's favor very much. I mean, even the round where they pushed B, ended up in a 3v3 post plan at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
So it wasn't anything crazy, like anything to write home about. Although that B push, it resulted in something good, right? They got the bomb down, and it was a 4v3, so they should have won that round a lot easier, to be honest. But Taco just... He's so good. Whenever he's one of the best players in the world because on T side, he's always in that place where he's by himself. He has to fight these one-on-one battles, and he's just so good at it.
Just the lurking capability alone as well is something to be...
That's the thing about Taco is he's always with the team when he needs to be. He's always making a play when he needs to. I don't know. He's always getting info. He's never getting surprised. He's never getting caught off guard.
And in the meanwhile, I think Fallen did a double in the round as well, back over here in mid. So hopefully we'll get a replay onto that.
Yeah, they're quietly just putting together a really good, pretty decent half here. Up from 9-2, I believe.
Yep.
Won the last 3 rounds, right?
Yeah, it was looking pretty desperate actually. Like Liquid was just going to run away with this one, and now this is like a close half. All of a sudden, going into the last round, Liquid buying, but 4 M4s with lax utility on quite a few players, and Stan having to go down to a FAMAS to play with now. So SK definitely really finding their stride here, being able to punish Liquid early on, which was part of the problem before, is they really couldn't do that. It was always going the other direction. Liquid punishing SK, knocking out like 1 or 2 players right from the start. Twist, unfortunately, missing the Q on the boiler player, was thinking they had already pushed back out, so he's going to miss an opportunity to take down Taco early on, but Taco doesn't get much going for himself either as he tries to fire off onto that wrap side and won't really connect onto much. But now, for hopping back in, they're going to add more players to this Halls push and get ready to try and push their way through. Nitro did catch the first kill, though, back over towards B, and that is where the bomb is positioned. In the hands of Fallen right now. They haven't found him out just yet, as he is looking for that trade and looking for a position to punish a guy over back by the Crips or something like that, but there's nothing to be seen. Both of the players stacked from Team Liquid on that B site are playing it, back on the site itself, not in the open where they could contest this banana push. Now with time growing a little bit short here and them still needing to figure out what's going on this bomb site, they will decide to start creeping into it. No utility being used to get in the site, but this is going to be problematic because as soon as they peek into it, Elige will be able to spot this. They move past it. Elige not really seeming to be aware of what's going on. He might have got hit by the flashbang. Doesn't matter though. Elige and Nitro both pick up kills over here. Coldzera, one of the last players alive, doesn't get anything going either. Taco finally finding one here, but he's got a lot more work to do. There's the second. He knows there's still one CT. He's got 15 seconds left to go for the plant, but he is being a little bit cautious of the CT's positioning now. Planning right in the safe corner here behind the Crips, but he's going to be pushed over the next few seconds here. As Taco smokes off CT, I think they may just decide to push right past that. They're right up in his face, and JDM will secure that final kill. So Team Liquid racking up at least 1 more at the end of the half. they'll put it up to 10, and off of that, they will still hold a really decent first half. However, letting SK escape with quite a bit there towards the very end makes this one definitely a plausible map for SK to round back, of course, in the second half. Stick with us, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see if our last map of the night ends up leading itself into a 2-0 for SK, or if Team Liquid can fire out with some strength and trade 1-1, just like Cloud9 did yesterday.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA.
For the last time this evening, we're back for another bout here between SK and Team Liquid. The first half closing itself out into the favor of Team Liquid this time around, but on a map like Inferno, which still tends to lean towards one side, there was definitely room for SK to battle back into this and close out 2-0.
Yeah, SK, I mean, just quietly put together a pretty good half and gives himself a chance on the CT side to, you know, come back and possibly win this.
Yeah, not to underscore this as well, but JDM definitely a huge performance increase over what we saw back on Mirage, an 11-9 scoreline, just under 90 ADR, along with 5 of those kills coming out from the op this time, and with the exception of a 0 on the last map. So big increase there. We'll get pretty quickly into the second half itself. Team Liquid now starting off on their T side. Let's see what they'll have to offer us, if anything at all. And SK still wanting to complete this comeback that they started in the first half. It was looking like they were just going to kind of bow down here and actually let Team Liquid take really fast control. At its worst, it was around like 9-2 of a scoreline there. But this is definitely something palatable. The CTs to come back from an early on. Team Liquid just quietly creeping up through Banana here, up to the half wall, ready to execute through that. They've somewhat limited utility.
Look at Furry's already in alt mid.
Wrapping into it, coldzera just a casual one tap on JDM. That seems to be the player that just can't get lucky here today. And Taco, another one up close, but that's going to be short-lived. Traded back up by Nitro, who also chains together a second one against coldzera just a moment later. So leaves it into a 3v3. Team Liquid having control, but the problem for Team Liquid is that SK are already here. They're already knocking at their door. Fallen, they've got a good thing going there, as they've got him very low at 10 HP, and he's just going to back into the walls. He's flashed back out, so they get aggressive there to pick up that kill. Stanislaw finishes off one more on Phelps. It's just Fur left alive here now, and it seems Team Liquid's pistol prowess continues to shine through as Nitro finalizes it with a 4K.
Again, I mean, he had the ace on T-side Mirage, now a 4K on T-side Inferno. So pretty much winning both pistols kill-wise almost by himself on the T-side.
So some nasty stuff from him, and that's definitely going to hurt SK if they can't pull off the immediate eco in the second round now, as they do indeed go for the force-up Deagles, CZs, even the shotgun purchase coming out from Taka with no armor sitting behind it. Fallen, of course, a little bit lighter than the rest of his teammates, but Team Liquid wanting that fast control of Banana. They nade it back out. I believe they're going to molly or smoke it too early on, so they can try to safely push back up and get this control going for them. coldzera trying to challenge, but just ends up bringing himself down to 20 HP. A similar story for Phelps. Taco, though, this is the thing. He may be able to get something done. Close up over here. And Elige, actually in a really interesting position, up on top of the this little windowsill here. And it's not the usual one you'd expect to see the players on. But after we see that little bit of a battle happening inside of the CT hallways, everything actually goes relatively quiet across the map. For the most part, both teams trying to make sure that the other one doesn't get too aggressive. Twist did miss the Q. I think it was Phelps pushing back up. Thankfully, Alicia's position on that windowsill works out great for him as he's able to take down Phelps when he commits himself to that push. Taco was hoping that he would jump inside of the window room to complete the equation there, but it doesn't happen. And now Taco's kind of just casually hunting out Alicia to see if he can catch him. He hasn't seen where he went after catching that kill just a moment ago as of yet. But with time getting low here, Liquid are going to need to move in, and that could lead to some mistakes, kind of running them into some of these bigger guns on the SK side of things. And there you go. There's one. Taco just gets himself a walk-in kill against Elige. Fur finding one against the Rap side, getting a bit greedy as he does swing wide to try and go for another one. But Taco, nice shot just inside of the smoke. Finds Stannis, and another one as well as he destroys Nitro. It's a 2v1 to potentially close out on the eco here for SK. Twist is alone looking for the clutch on his own regard. Gets the bomb, should be able to safely get inside the site and plant it at the very least, but now SK are just going to get even closer to him here. Taco moving in, may have finally met his match, very low, but also brings Twist down to 6 HP, and he actually didn't even get the plant here, so time runs out, and off of that, we see SK winning it, and Taco gets one more to complete it, which breaks Twist's own money.
Yeah, that Hall's Mag 7, I mean, he's just peeking right below these guys. I think that was a T-sided smoke, and it just kind of screwed them. I'm almost positive that was a T smoke. It's definitely not a CT smoke, and really benefited Taco there.
So now Team Liquid have to go for their own force here. Fallen flashed out really early on, though, so he's got to fall back. Same for coldzera. I don't know if they're going to be in great positions to actually take this duel. No, they're not. Elige immediately walking in, catches that first kill. Great pop flash from coldzera, though. He teaches them an immediate trade, and the big flash up on top. The HE grenade comes in. Unfortunately, JDM and Twist both pick up kills, which includes killing the CT player that had wrapped back in. Now it's just Phelps and Taco trying to pull off a 2v3, and Phelps just spraying blindly through the CT smoke right now.
So yeah, I think JDM just drove by. There was no CT Swan smoke. He just drive by P250'd him while Fur was rushing up Swan because the Swan smoke came so late.
Well, that's now, especially with Phelps getting dinked here, too, and leaving in a pretty poor situation for SK. It's looking that they're about to get counter-ecoed here. Phelps with a nice pickup at the very least, but Twist trading that back out. And now Phelps sits alone. He's got an M4, so he's going to choose to back up and save that instead, and they'll let Team Liquid escape with the 12th round.
Back and forth, back and forth. Let's see what SK's money is at. Pretty low money. They're gonna have, you know, Phelps and whatever he saves. This M4, 3,000 on Cold, 2,400 on Taco. So just eco win, another eco win off that. Just complete B rush by Liquid.
Yeah, and it worked out great for them too. Like I said, the timing on the fallback for SK, they just didn't get out of there quickly enough to get back to the site. So. Well, coldzera kept himself up and running for a little bit longer. Definitely wasn't able to get as much as he would have liked done there. And his teammates just also not able to rotate in quickly enough. So SK do decide to force into this one as well, since they do have a little bit more money to buy into it with, but it's not much. And if Team Liquid seals the deal here, they will almost certainly get themselves into 14 rounds just off of that. And then that's going to have to be SK basically being flawless on this CT side if they want to have any chance of winning this in regulation. But early on, Team Liquid just spreading their players out into basically a default here, not wanting to take action anywhere on the site either, not pushing up towards mid to take close control of A, and not even really wanting to move up too aggressively to move up towards car here and kind of get that earlier on in the round. They do molly it back out to prevent like a sandbags player from retreating or anybody from getting back outside, but SK themselves, they decided not to really mess around with it this time since it backfired so poorly for them in the previous round. They do have the boost up on the flower box for Fallen there, and coldzera as well is boosted on top of first oranges, so it's going to be fire from above for SK as Team Liquid do decide to push their way back in. And coldzera taking the first point of contact, but he's aggressive about it, so his feet get spotted early on. Fallen, just lock on kill for the second one, but he only gets that one, refuses to jump down afterwards and is traded back out. And Twist even watching for this flank, beautiful spray control to get that second one after he hops into the mini pit. Now Fur left as the last man standing, actually just falling back to save and is going to let Team Liquid get up to 13.
Yeah, and even though I think the spot above spawn is like pretty overpowered and pretty ridiculously good spot, it really drops off in its effectiveness when that first player in sight doesn't get that first kill. The setup almost always works when the player in sight gets a kill and then can hide and stay alive. Because they're just going to run around and go swing far right, and they're going to be just looking for that guy, right? And then you could get 1 or 2 in the back and probably stay alive, and then that sight guy could usually get to safety and make the other players commit in like a, you know, ideally a 3v5 or a 2v5 scenario.
So now off of this, Team Liquid, they are going to be looking at almost game, set, and match at this point, trying to time something for tonight. There's really one more gun round is all that is going to be needed. As SK, as you can see, pretty much full saving. Fur managed to save off of the last round, so he's going to have the seasoning armor buy, but that's the biggest pie they cut. Phelps and Taco don't invest towards anything at all. Fallen and Cold Zero just get P250s. And it's still a usual 2-3 stack. They haven't decided to gamble on this or anything like that. They will get a little bit aggressive, sending Fur out. However, look at this twist, just waiting for it. Easy kill on the Fur. And down goes the only armored player they have. Elige takes him a minute, and he gets dinked in the process, but it's only for half of his health. He takes out another one, knocking down Fur this time around, and leaving SK with only 3 across the map. Still going to be 2 in B. Still have to knock them out, but...
This AK is awesome.
Yeah, you haven't seen it?
No.
Like 4 other players in it have had this AK.
Really?
Yeah, dude. Sick, isn't it?
Bloodsport's like my favorite movie, man. Jean-Claude Van Damme. I watched that movie like every day as a kid.
I think it's just a sick-looking gun.
Have you seen the movie?
No. I don't think I've ever seen a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. Like, I know who he is.
I've seen every Jean-Claude Van Damme
I know who he
movie.
is.
Every
Mainly
single
because
one.
there was a bunch of like random clips of him in front of a green screen that popped up like a year ago, but...
We're no longer friends.
Team Ace that time for Team Liquid, and they are indeed closing in. Like I said, really just one more gun round is all that is needed to seal the deal here, and it would happen on this round indeed. SK invest.
What's it called? I think it's called the Kumite. The
Wait.
tournament that he fights in Bloodsport. Sorry, now I'm just thinking about Bloodsport.
Sorry, I'm just out of the loop.
Frank Dukes. That's his name in Bloodsport.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
That sounds like a really corny name.
Nothing about that
like-
movie is... It's actually super corny.
Sounds like Ricky Bobby from, well, from Talladega Nights. I imagine it's a good movie. From the 80s, right?
It's the best movie. But anyways, Liquid is setting up for a quick A-take here, and SK has no utility left. They just have flashbangs. That's it. They have no smokes or Molotovs to stop this, and they still have 2 players towards B, although Fallen is rotating a bit.
Yeah. Team Liquid now pushing themselves in through the mid-choke point here to try to wrap themselves around a little bit. Fur is going to be close up to contest this, but he swings out. Actually, really good timing on that one. Just barely avoids the flashbang. Quick trade from Stan, of course, but the damage being done. Now it's a 4v3. Nitro's going to impact in a big way here to win this one out. As Fallen just knocked out Stan. JDM also pushing back in too, but he's the first point of contact. He's just going to get cross-sprayed. Nitro is now lost alone. That's the round. It's going to go into SK. They save themselves, but they've got a long, long road to recover this scoreline.
Yeah, it's almost impossible to succeed when you're coming out from lap. You're just going up porch, and there's a guy sight and a guy pit. Wolf.
So I was right about the... That's a wolf, I think.
Yeah.
It's just like a fat wolf.
It's Aspen.
He's not a wolf.
It's
He's a
kind
husky.
of wolfy.
He's a husky. Does you know how much money Bloodsport made in the box office?
Probably like $200,000.
What?
Probably like $200,000.
No, incorrect. It made $65 million.
What? For real?
Off of a $2 million budget.
That's JCVD, man. How did you know that?
Just I got a beam in my head. I have a twin.
Oh, the director?
Yeah. No, he's not my twin. I told you I have a twin. He's back in Jersey, and he beamed it to me with that telepathy that the guys from Immortals use. It works. Well, this round actually ends up being rather close, with Elige now left as the last man standing here. Liquid again trying to close out upon it. The problem is going to be that even regardless of the winner of this round, again, it's not going to do any favors for trying to build up SK. So Team Liquid, as soon as they get back into a next buy, they can immediately re-break SK and prevent them from really buying back into this one. Now, Elige assumes as we go back into the situation here that he'll be safe to plant the bomb, and he is indeed. SK are really slow about this retake right now, not wanting to challenge him at all, and Elige lines up one of the 2 kills that are remaining here. Taco getting knocked back out, spots the second. Molotov is not too far enough to the right, so he's able to still safely tuck himself behind the trip stack, but off that flash, peeks out. That's where Phelps is going to shut it down.
Yeah, and SK coming back. I'm not sure how much money Liquid actually has right now. Okay, so they're going to be good to buy, definitely. SK, they're going to have a pretty much full buy as well. So economies are both intact here. We're going to see another gun round for sure. Yeah, that was a... I don't know if SK might have... They might have thought... I feel like he was planning the bomb, and that's when Phelps was going backwards. So they were really disconnected, him and Taco. Unusual way to play that 2v1, definitely. Most people will stick together there, and I actually think going construction is the best option there when you stick together, especially because he had that Molotov.
Well, we do have Team Liquid splitting their players up again here, 3-2 across the board.
Who do you think is going to win this game, Blue?
I would say Team Liquid.
You think Liquid's going to do it? Actually, I think SK is going to come back, yeah.
Nah. Well. Yeah, but we both said one team would win, so it just counters it out anyway. Doesn't matter. We both say different things.
So it looks like it's going to be a Halls jump, I would guess, but they have 2 players very disconnected. I think they're going to throw a B fake with Nitro and Stan, I would assume, and then they're going to jump out Halls. Nothing else makes much sense.
It's going to force them out, though, with that Molotov, and they go for it. Now 2-1 trades the favor of SK.
I don't understand.
And now it's down to Stan and Nitro. Stan splits from the B hit, and it just gets wrecked by Fur.
Yeah, that strat just made 0 sense. They had 2 players at B with like no nades. I'm not sure if they were faking B, but if they were faking B, they hit Halls at the same time. So, yeah, just very questionable strat there by Liquid.
So that's going to cost them. I mean, I don't know, maybe there's a way SK can actually crawl back into this.
It's literally like 3 players jumping out with the bomb. Those 2 players at B. Yeah, but those 2 players at B, they didn't even have any nades, so I don't even know how they threw a fake. You know, would you throw a flashbang and you ran close to the car? Like, that's not going to do anything.
Yeah. So Nitro at the moment leading the way for Team Liquid here, 22-15 with an ADR of 92, as they have called themselves for a tactical pause right now. So we're going to be taking a minute to 11 to re-strategize and see what they can do to find the winning strat here.
Yeah, and remember, Liquid did win both pistols right now, right? And they, I think they got eco'd, but then they eco'd them back, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, essentially, like, winning both pistols, kind of.
Yeah.
Since they each eco each other once, right?
Yep. So they do bring it back there. And again, just waiting for the unpause to come in from Team Liquid. And then we'll see if they can actually close out here. Now it's 14-9. I don't know, maybe there is a way they can get back into this one. It is possible.
It's only a couple gun rounds.
Yeah. Especially now that they've got the money in a pretty bad spot for Liquid, too. So you can see that is going to come into effect here as they are just forced down on the Tech 9s this time. JDM doesn't even get armor as he's still saving for the op on the next one. SK is fully bought up. They've got everything. And Team Liquid, I think they're just going to... Well, they're going to have to put a stop to it, but they're... At the start, at least, looked like they were going to train their way up Banana and just try to rush into that site. So they smoke it back off. CTs do. That Molotov was about to fade, but Team Liquid don't really seem to care too much. They're going to go out. Fallen just spotted it. He's going to toss it to Molly. Coldzera picking him off from the Crips as he gets 2, or only 1 actually for himself. Fallen is the one that ends up with a 4K and goes massive there to stop that direct hit from Team Liquid.
It was just a spawn and spindle setup, and as soon as Fallen kills one, drops the Molly. If they want to commit, they have to go through a Molly and Cold just raining bullets from you know, I still call it spindle.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll ever change.
Probably not. Just got to keep the new viewers out there. You don't want to confuse them.
Yeah.
It's like when everybody gets confused when you call first and second oranges now, because they're not even really orange boxes anymore.
True.
Well, Fallen, nicely shot from him, and he has to take a risk in doing so as well, staying from within side of that Molotov, but it gets him the first kill against Stan. And now brings this down to a 5v4 advantage once more. Liquid trying to push their way through the mid-choke point. And they'll be able to get through that pretty easily. Obviously some delay just to check the corners and whatnot here, but SK are looking to defend the site, not necessarily the initial position. Fallen still has a position himself over here on Banana, and he's the only one here to defend B as well, but still gets the kill on JDM. Knows he's in the clear there, and they can just safely have a 4-stack here on the A site, which more than likely means Liquid are just going to get stopped here unless someone comes out with a massive play. They've got players pretty much everywhere. There's going to be the peek from Fur to stop twists. Molly's going to send Fur out, but he's going to pop flash to try and escape. Doesn't work, but still trades come in pretty quickly. And there you have it. SK do indeed close out relatively quickly. One Team Liquid finally go out into the open.
Yeah, and even though it's a 3v5, they still kind of just play a retake B and put 4 towards A because it's just kind of like an obvious read for the SK guys.
Super slow mo. Let's see that angle on that one. He takes down JDM at the very end of it there too. So 14-11. SK on the comeback path, and they've got Liquid onto another half-bot round. They do have a few more smokes this time, though, for the Team Liquid roster. So they can very much try to deploy that, block off some parts of the A-bomb site before rushing themselves over towards it. They've already got the Hall's control going for them. Again, SK relatively passive on their own hole.
Got for flanking them about 10 seconds of the round.
Oh!
Wow.
That shouldn't really happen. Nitro is actually going to escape with something he should not have gotten. Thankfully, there's more flanks to be had, and this time it comes from Phelps over on the porch side. Stan just gets denied, falling down from the balcony there by Taco. Nitro already lit from his earlier encounter with Fur. 4 HP, now stuck inside of this window room, just hunting for anything that he could get, but there's not going to be much else that he can get there.
Yeah, I think Fur just rushed down B. Just full speed.
Yeah, he just walks right up here. I didn't realize that at first that it was him. It was just another
I just thought it was like a T.
Yeah, I just thought it was a T. I was like, oh crap.
I was just meeting up with his buddies.
Yeah.
No, I mean, he flanked them at, I literally think it was 138 on the clock.
He literally had
right?
to rush it, yeah. So, which means he probably like ran down past short wall with his knife out.
Might have been 128, but still, regardless, it was like 20 seconds in the round. It's crazy.
Well, into another buy round for Team Liquid here as
That's just like the most frustrating thing, by the way.
When you get pushed like that.
That's an in-game leader.
Yeah.
And it kind of messes with you on anything you do, because now you're just like, you know, when a team plays like that, just 1 or 2 rounds, all of a sudden every single round you just have to have somebody hard watching the flank a lot of the time, right? And it could really disrupt like your site takes. All of a sudden every site take you do, a lot of the time you just have 4 people there, you know?
SK aren't really going to do too much of that aggression in this round for the most part. They had those players posted out towards Car early on, but have already pushed them back to the site. Fur and Coldzera, they do this little boost up over here onto the second orange box. So the Fur can play on top of that. And then for everybody else here, still stacked pretty conservatively over towards A, just haven't fallen and watched the wrap position. But the actual hit, as you can very obviously see from Team Liquid, is just going to be a 5-man play towards B. They've got a wall set up here. Coldzera is going to get super aggressive, though, pushing out to try and spot for intel. It's raining fire, though, so he's got to be careful about his own position, but he swings in, catches the first one. Now it's on Fur. Fallen is rotating in, but Fur catches just one out in the open, tries to go for a second. Not going to be successful there. He's traded back out, leaves us in with 3v3 post-plant. Fallen tries to take a shot, misses both of them, though, and that gives away his position and leads to a resmoke from Team Liquid.
Yeah, and Alish picks off the CT rotator in Phelps by jumping onto, you know, first oranges.
Now, which is 2 alive, Fallen tries to go for the dirty shot there, but actually Taco is the one that punishes him from CT, as the timing on the CT smoke fade worked out perfectly. Now, the last 2 Ts are stuck over here on Banana. They can safely try to push back out. Unfortunately, Taco will get one of these kills, and that we'll see Alish trade out the last 2, wins it out in the 1v2 scenario, and finally, Team Liquid find the round that pushes them up to 15. Again, they were trying to do his best to hold on to it, but did let Liquid go back in, and they weren't able to finalize things in that round here. So after a, I believe, 6-round streak from SK, it is finally closed out upon by Team Liquid, and now they just need 1 more to win out the map. But SK also very close behind themselves, just 3 more, and you know, with a possible economy reset, making it really only 1 or 2 more here if they can pull that one off, as the rest would be eco rounds. We could be looking at overtime, and it's a good start as Phelps catches the first kill against the Liege.
Yeah, and Phelps seems to be opping quite often on CT side Inferno, and it's something that nobody expects. You never expect Phelps to pick up the op, especially on porch side. Oftentimes just getting that first kill for free because people are just straight peeking him, assuming he has a rifle.
We've got Team Liquid trying to...
They have almost no utility left. Just one smoke, a flash, a molly. They were feeling that B pressure from Fallen. Fallen causes them to smoke off their own half wall, you know, and just essentially throw a CT smoke that you usually see, you know, that car smoke.
Meanwhile, on the site, you still have a smoke and a Molotov sitting in the hands of coldzera. Fallen did use most of his early on here, so he's going to be able to try and deploy this, but actually there may not even be time for it, as this is going to come in really quickly. Fallen catching the first kill from Mimo, though. coldzera getting smoked back off. He's got to take a risk to get back in here. JDM does knock out his teammate, but a quick trade from coldzera. Fur is also alive, but he gets hit by a flashbang. Doesn't seem to matter, though, as he still finishes off the kill in a twist. Stan, in the meanwhile, though, did knock out coldzera, but he's so low, so Fur with that nade is going to take out the last man alive for Team Liquid, and that sends SK up to 13 and resets that losing bonus for Team Liquid.
Yeah, this has overtime written all over it, Blue. Probably gonna see a save coming from Liquid, and then a buy the next round, and they'll be able to get full AKs. So if I was them, I wouldn't buy like anything right now. I'd just keep straight Glocks, and see, like the way they're buying right now, they're not quite gonna be able to. Well, let's see. See, like. The reason you don't buy here is because you don't buy anything here is because SK's economy is full, right? So you're literally buying to win the round, not to hurt your economy. And that's just not going to happen.
As we can very well see.
Yes.
This is pretty much just a thrashing from SK at this point. Phelps even stealing that kill against JDM. That's just twists in a 1v4 and being flanked out by Phelps to finish off the last 2 kills. There you have it, 14-15. This will be decided in round number 30.
So look how much Twist bought. Now he has 3,600, and he can't get AK armor all of a sudden. That's because of how much he bought. So now he has to go with like the ump. And I mean, yeah, he has utility, but still, it's... You should just keep straight 5 Glocks there.
Taking away what could have been like an AK
exactly.
or something like that when you had no chance of winning the round.
Yeah.
So this could prove to be very bad indeed for Team Liquid here. They could be looking at least 4 to 6 more rounds against SK after this one. But one more chance to close it out, and it's with 2 players having umps in their hands here. Fallen trying to take the first contact as he does peek out just a little bit. He's not being super aggressive here towards B at all. Waiting for the smoke to fade and trying to see if he can catch them setting up for another B hit here. Team Liquid have become very fond of these direct B plays over the past few rounds. So trying to see if he can catch any of this early on. But after not scouting out much, the smoke just gets reapplied to the half wall. Obviously the HE nade going to do it, chuck off about 25 damage from Fallen. Nothing serious. The problem really is for Team Liquid right now is they're not really trying to take control anywhere else on the map. They haven't tried to push up to the half wall and banana. They haven't tried to take, really aggressive halt control over towards A or even, mid choke at this point, which it does seem as though it's becoming the plan. We've got a lot of players stacked up there getting ready to, at the very least, move in from intel. SK is not going to challenge that, so actually that's going to be relatively easy to take control of. But they still are going to have to transfer this onto a site. And they're really only going to leave themselves, like 30 seconds or so to try and do this. So after not really feeling it back over there at mid-choke, they go back to the banana play, and this is where SK have been able to continuously shut them down on gun rounds, so this is going to be risky. The good news for them, though, is they've got Fallen out, but actually they're going to throw a fake here now. Utility being thrown into the site. Fallen's up there, though. He's going to see this, so he should be able to already call for his teammate to start rotating back over towards the A-bomb set. They start the wrap back in. Twists with a good first catch against Fur, however. Now, the A-site players have to get ready for it, and they are, and this is just going to be a shooting gallery. Taco tries to surprise. That doesn't work out. Phelps has got a tiny angle to play through, but no, he gets overwhelmed. Now it's a 3v2. The good news for SK is all 3 of the remaining members on Team Liquid are very, very lit. 12, 38, and 42 HP respectively. Fallen and coldzera are going to have to look to clutch this one back out. Otherwise, it's a Team Liquid map, and they go 1-1 for the evening. Nitro just looking close up, but he hadn't even realized that coldzera already got his way all the way over here towards the hay bale. Takes down Elige. Fallen's hoping for the trade right now. Caught him jumping, but misses out the shot, so he remains safe. That's a lot of time going by. They've got to get back into this site. Nitro closes out on one more. It's all on Fallen now. And as he tries to push back in, there's nothing to be spotted. This player in pit's been a menace him the whole time. And Twist will close out with the last kill, giving it to Team Liquid, 16-14. They take map number 2 and trade 1-1 for the night.
Yeah, just a wrap split to A on that last round. In order to win it, Fer goes back into CT spawn at those arches, and even though there's such a fast B rotate, the CTs just don't hold very well at all. They don't put up much resistance. They used a lot of their utility earlier on in the round. They didn't have many mollies and smokes to really work with to try to hold that off. And Liquid taking that last round, so they end up splitting the series 1-1.
As predicted, so nice call on that one.
True.
So let's bring our analysts back into the conversation now and get their thoughts on just how Inferno played out here tonight.
Well, you poked the bear that is JDM, and JDM showed up to play. How about that?
Yeah, no, definitely having a much bigger contribution here, especially on the CT side. Once he got rolling towards Banana there, definitely had an impact on, was the reason why we saw SK have struggles, on their T side as well. So that was good to see.
No, absolutely. And he shows up very early, too, in the game, which really does help that impact that he does have to help exponentially in terms of getting their momentum going and really getting the ball rolling there for Liquid.
Yeah, definitely so, and I think that's one of the main reasons why we see Team Liquid end up having such a good half, because we talked about it going into the game that SK have shown in the past that they have very strong T sides. That was not the case. They got shut down more or less completely, and we're pretty lucky actually to get 5 rounds after that first half at all. So kudos to TL for actually doing a pretty good job there initially.
What is there to say about sound cues in this map? I mean, that you've noticed thus far. I mean, we've seen rotations built off of this, and it seems like a pretty, a pretty important part of this map.
Oh no, it's massive. It's obviously massive for a ton of all maps really, but on Inferno, for instance, you can actually hear the sounds of rotations happening from Speedway and so on from Banana, for instance. So depending on where you place yourself as a T, that could be a massive tell as to what the CT side is doing. Also, if you play Inferno, you have the fountain, just constant water splashes and so on. There's a ton of things that can trigger the most minuscule thing that would actually just tell the other team exactly what they need to know to abuse what you're doing.
Let's take a look. We actually do have a replay loaded up. It's going to be the second pistol. Let's take a look at it now because it's Liquid's B execute here on their pistol round.
Yeah, so this is their pistol. And Liquid actually, after this showed that they would have like to have a pretty heavy focus on that B bomb side, unlike SK. But it's going to be something that's not too common really these days, which is an execute on a pistol round instead of just focusing heavily up on armor and so on. So even though they don't get necessarily the initial trades that they like, Nitro with the 2K right here makes it perfectly fine because they can, it allows them to get the bomb plant down and allows them to also get into afterplant positions. And afterplant positions on that B bomb site, when the CTs don't have any utility to actually retake the bomb site, is always going to be in favor of the T side. And all of this happened, one of the things that could have gone really wrong for them as well is the fact that Fer, just from the get-go, immediately ran down towards second mid and was basically flanking the entire time, but the execution from Liquid was actually quick enough for them to escape that, potential threat.
I mean, even early on, we saw in the first half Liquid pick up 10-5.
Yeah.
And that momentum really did kind of help them. But, SK being that world championship team that they are,
have no quit.
They have no stop.
Yeah.
These guys battled it all the way back. You guys seen the scoreline, 16-14. I mean, they're still there to fight. They're going to fight it all the way to the end.
Oh yeah, and keep in mind, Liquid won both pistols in this map as well. So for the night they go 4-4. That's obviously something you want to bring with you going forward. But SK, they have no quit. They're always going to be around there, and you can see they're even if they lose pistol, they win they win eco rounds and so on. They just have so much skill within that lineup that they're never going to go away.
Well, we are at that point in the season, right, where every match matters, every round matters.
Yeah.
And actually, it's true for the entire season. But the point is,
matters more now than ever.
How huge is this W for Liquid?
I think it's massive because SK is probably the hardest opponent they're going to go up against, and we talked about how vulnerable they are in a sense with just bringing Twist into the lineup. Even though it's going to be hard to grab just a map off of SK with the way they've been playing as of right now, or leading up to this point of the season, they kind of needed it to give themselves a little bit of breathing room. It also allows them to not necessarily 2-0 some of the remaining opponents.
Well, it's very interesting also to know that SK have split maps with their past 4 opponents.
Yeah, no, they started off 12-0, and since then they've gone 1-1. I think it's Optic Renegades, now Liquid, and last name escapes me, but yeah,
Cloud9?
Cloud9, yeah.
Cash.
That's right. They've been sharing. They've been sharing the care really for the latter part of it, and it's still looking pretty strong by all means. But for Liquid, they don't really care about that. They're just happy that they can get the map and it's up because obviously SK are still ungodly team.
It's definitely good to end on a high note if you're Team Liquid. Splitting maps is better than no maps at all. Let's take a recap of the matches of the day, where we're going to go over these scores real quick. Over on our main stream, what we caught earlier, Immortals versus CLG. Kind of what we expected, but we did expect, I guess, a little more fight out of CLG.
We did, and it was not the greatest showing from CLG. I guess Days talked about them maybe having that post-LAN depression kind of thing going for them, where they don't play that well right out the gate. But as we mentioned, they do have a couple of games to spare, so it's not all over for them. They still have a shot at making that top 6.
Absolutely, and if you do look over there on the other side, the other stream, I'm sure there's a good asterisk to be put next to that one.
Yeah.
Perhaps. We don't know.
Yeah.
We're now going to tune over now to the, we're going to take a look here in a second at the standings as they settled here in this past week. And I really think that this one's kind of playing out in a manner in which we thought it would have.
Yeah.
I mean, you could expect to see SK Cloud9, Liquid sitting up at top. You see Energy sliding into that 5th position. And then Optic staying within the realm of LAN contention at this point.
Yeah.
Now, they haven't qualified yet. However, they're definitely sitting in a good spot in order to kind of preference going into that playoff sort of mentality.
Yeah, they definitely are, and you can tell there's four, if my eyes do not deceive me, 4 teams are actually tied at 11 wins as well, so, things can swap around very quickly right there. But it is shaping up to be a really, really interesting end to the season.
Let's take a look at the EU standings now across the pond, that big pond known as the Atlantic Ocean. We've got Navi, Astralis North sitting top 3. Mouse Sports, G2, and FaZe. Now, interesting enough, the G2 right here, right?
I love that jump.
Just
2
craziness.
2 days ago, they were at the 13th spot where LDLC are currently sitting, and now they're sitting at a nice little 5th spot. I think they started off 1-8, I want to say.
No, I mean, very much so. If you're a fan of Navi, if you're a fan of Astralis, if you're a fan of North, or Cloud9, Liquid, SK,
if you're a fan of good CS,
if you're a fan of watching good Counter-Strike with your best friends, maybe doing some hood rat things, maybe not, I don't know, that's up to you. But get your tickets for the Pro League Finals in Dallas at the Verizon Theater over at proleague.com/Dallas. Definitely going to be a good time. Make sure you maybe even bring some family too. Expose them to esports if they've never seen it before. But I think it's important to remind you guys that the top 6 at the end of the season actually do qualify for that LAN. Are these names and teams that we can expect to see there?
I think, yeah, for a lot of them they are. I think in any region, probably Energy would be the only real surprise so far with the way things have shaped up. And as we already pointed out, I think from 4 and down, it's pretty much open, anyone's game. It's open season, really, for those last playoff tickets.
It's open season. It's hunting season for some of these teams in the chase for that playoff run. Let's give it a quick thought here in terms of the best VOD you can think of watching after tonight's matchups.
After tonight's matchups, honestly, why not rewatch that Inferno game between SK and Liquid? Closest game we had all night, 16-14. Definitely something you can pick up and learn there. New map, so there's definitely a ton you haven't seen before. A couple of pop flashes from Cold on B, for instance, and many more.
Say it with me, Vendetta. YouTube.com/ESLCS. Try it. Just say it.
You're so fast. Oh, yeah. YouTube.com/ESLCS. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any VODs from either the NA region or EU.
This guy's good. It's like he's done this before. Anyway, that does it for us here. Week 7 of ESL Pro League North America is coming to a close. We have appreciated you, and we will see you next week.